Hey again, everyone. Thank you for joining me. If you remember last week, we were talking with Connor and discussing the diagrams uh, that he crafted for us. Hello, doggy dog. And we had a wonderful conversation, and there's a whole lot more to come, part two. So y'all tune in and check this out for part two of our conversation. And I want to put something else out there. Coming up in the new year, we know that these platforms are kicking people off and they're shadow banning people and they're censoring people who even like videos that they don't like, etc., etc. Got an itchy doggy? Doggy dog. And anyhow, so I'm going to be moving to another platform. I said BitChute, but I'm just not 100% if I'm going to move over there yet. And on that note, I would like to ask you all a favor. I'm going to be putting together a documentary on the subject of, you guessed it, narcissism. And I'm going to need some subjects to interview. And if you are interested, I would like for you to email me at tyrravenson@outlook.com. That's TYRRAVENSOHN at outlook.com. If you would like to share a little bit of what's happened in your experience with the NARS holes. All right, so join me over here in just a minute and we will get to it and get to part two of the discussion. See you there.
Perfect. So we're going to go into ecopathy, false advertising.
Okay. Oh God, Connor, you spent a lot of time on these. What? These are the first time that I've seen these. Okay, bro. Okay, all right. Let's, I guess, just start in. Well, tell us about this. This is big.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because we actually talked about a lot of this on the last slide. Because when you're talking about leadership and the currently thing, if you take a look at the far right here, we say false advertising of personality traits. You think you see leadership, and then if you look to the right, but it's actually domination through fear and force. Think positive or else. Put on a
Oh man, I'm
smiley
sorry.
face.
I was ahead of you. I didn't know that you that I should probably look at these first. I was ahead. I didn't mean to get it. This is exactly what we were talking about.
But
Okay.
did you see how brilliant this is? You're actually already doing things that you're like, you see how brilliant, you see how this works, right? We're on the same page here.
Yeah, it's good to be on the same page because the narc will make sure you're not. They'll turn the book upside down, blame it on you. But yeah, I see that. Okay, domination through fear and force. So that's exactly what we were just talking about. Continue.
Yeah, this is great. And so, yeah, basically, this is where, after their depravity, to hide it away, they have to do false advertisement or deception. And appearances can be deceiving. So, dark personality traits can look altruistic to an unsuspecting person. They can be. They can appear altruistic. You might say, "Wow, that guy's calm under pressure," but really, he doesn't care if you live or die. So, not so much pressure is just indifference.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And here's the thing, no one can appear more self-loving than an egopath, but it's all an act to convince themselves and others they aren't pure evil. And here you have Sun Tzu, The Art of War. All warfare is based upon deception, for a
Oh,
quote.
wow.
And so, yeah, if we just take a quick look at this, they believe their own lies in order to be more successful at convincing others. And this is something that you had actually touched upon, that yeah, they are so convinced themselves it helps convince us that what they're saying is true. But it's all a lie. And I call this a truth script. They come up with a lie that they believe, and then they repeat it to you. And then that they're just following the truth script. They're acting out a scene. And then this is the it's true from a certain point of view, a completely unrealistic and delusional point of view.
Oh, it's true from a certain point of view. Yeah, that sounds like the news. That's exactly. I'm telling you, everything that you're saying here is it. Not only is it touching our personal lives and people that have been married to the monsters or unfortunately related to them, but it's happening to the people that are currently influencing things. Good Lord. Yeah, this is very good. Keep going. Keep going.
Anything is true when you believe your delusions.
Exactly, it does.
Yes. And so here's the thing. This was a big epiphany for me. With all of this in mind, all this craziness, they inevitably develop pathological jealousy and pathological envy. And these two things are different. So jealousy is basically the fear of something being taken away from you, and then envy is wanting what someone else has. And what they're interested in is control. So they're afraid of losing control, and they want control over everything. They're total control freaks. And so if we look here, they need to believe everyone's lesser than themselves. And when people are showing that they're better than them and like they're happy, for a person is just happy, the ecopath's going to feel defeated. They feel that they should have control over you and you shouldn't be happy. They feel their self-hatred and they target you for it because they realize you disillusion them without meaning to, because their egos are that fragile.
I've experienced that many times. I had no idea what it was that was going on at the time, but now it's perfectly clear that they're extremely jealous and envious. Just being happy and around one sets them off.
Yeah,
It's,
and that's the thing. And they believe this because in their zero-sum game minds, they think that you being happy means you're taking away their happiness, or you being successful means you're taking away their success. There's only so much to go around, and you're taking it away from them. Like it's so paranoid. But that we covered that they're paranoid.
mhm.
So we go on to the next part
I
here,
would.
and
I'd like to cause them some unhappiness now. If I could, I would. I actually, their happiness doesn't mean much to me at this point.
yeah, well, ultimately, either way, be happy.
Either
And
way, yeah, being happy and being self-actualized and being comfortable just in whatever your situation is, it destroys them. It bothers them, and you know and they can make you unhappy too. They'll pull all kinds of tricks and pull all the stops out to make sure that your day is miserable, and that's why when you folks, when you get away, I've said this a couple of times during the conversation, when you get away and you can finally go no contact, because remember, you can't always go no contact, you can't just drop it. Sometimes you're hooked in with these folks. But when you do and you go no contact, you're going to find out it's life is it's like day and night. It's completely different because they probably are making you unhappy daily, probably minute by minute if it was anything close to what I was enduring. So yes, it's yeah, your happiness. It bothers them. What could be more selfish than that? Connor, have you ever been around someone and been they're happy and it just like really ruins your day? I mean, it doesn't even it doesn't compute.
the
It
only
doesn't make any
person
sense.
The only time that I've actually been mad at someone for being happy was not because they were happy, but because they bullied someone in front of me.
Okay, yeah, see, well, yeah, that yeah, bullies.
And I stopped that bully from being happy when I beat his ass.
All right, good. See, now just because that you're a victim of a narcissist doesn't mean you can't roll up on someone and knock the shit out of them. They probably deserved it. Yeah. That's another thing too, and we're going to have to someday. We're going to have to discuss after this extensive research into the narcissist, sociopath, narcopath. Sometime we're going to have to see, what we do to change our own behavior. That should be the next. Have to take a look at the people that are victims as well. So
Yeah. And I mean, and yeah, that was a long time ago. And yeah, that was elementary school. But yeah, one thing to look at here is these ecopaths, they are so envious of winners. If you're a winner, they want to be you and they hate you. And they're just, it's really something. It's really
even if
something to
it
want to be
benefits
someone.
them too, even
Yeah.
Connor, even if it benefits them, I've seen where my winning. Watched the video that I put out. It said, be careful of those who don't clap when you win. That's the passive part of the aggression. They won't clap when you win. It bothers them. Even if it benefits them, they hate it. They hate it. They can't handle your success because it shines a genuine light on how pathetic they really are.
Oh God, this is
I've
so
been through
perfect.
this.
But
I've been through this. What you're putting out on paper, or I'm sorry, on diagrams, I've been through this personally. I've seen it, and it's exactly as Connor says. Exactly. Guaranteed. And you know what? Their playbook is exactly the same. I can't imagine anyone that's made it this far in our discussion that isn't like going, yeah, yeah.
Got it. Yeah, been there, done that.
Oh, this is so perfect. So yeah, let's continue, man. I'm so excited. I got so much more to show, and we're going for it.
All right.
So yeah, they have no respect for others, and they'll never be happy for others. They're only envious and jealous of other people. They are. So here's something from Friedrich Nietzsche, and I believe that's how his last name is pronounced.
Mhm.
A philosopher. If I cannot have something, no one can have anything. No one is to be anything.
Wow, you
And
can't
that's
even
from
be anything. You just can't even be alive. Are you breathing? You've offended me. Yeah.
That's exactly it. And so, yes, I think that provides a perfectly sound explanation as to why these soulless meat suits try to destroy your very soul.
You said, and you know what? It takes us so long to figure it out. What is the? Yeah, I don't know. I believe that mask. I look at that mask every day, and I'm like, what took so long? Well, I'll tell you what took so long is they get their hooks in your life, and you can't get out. You might have actually seen a glimpse or two at the beginning on what we call red flags, and you blew it off, and you shouldn't have blown it off like me. Please, for God's sake, listen to Connor and me. If you see those red flags, run. No contact. Go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And trust me, the more you research red flags and the more because some red flags are happening all the time, but you don't really see them until you're educated about them. And like if you just do just a bit of research about red flags, all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is happening quite a bit, these red flags. It's like that's a big warning, buddy, that if you keep seeing the same red flags or multiple red flags in a short time span, like get out of there.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
so, yeah, basically, these psychological terrorists, and I call them this because of all their mind games they try and do to you, um, they realize they don't have your power and they don't want it to exist. They don't have your power and they don't want it to exist, so they try and destroy it.
Most power, and a power in the air quotes here, most power is like that. You can take the power back from them, from the people that are supposedly in charge as well. You can take the power. It might take a little time. It might take some time and effort in between your goal to escape that, but most of the time it's smoke and mirrors. Remember that, please. It's that way in the personal, it's that way in the political, and it's that way in the spiritual as well. All warfare is based upon deception. All of it. We've given them the power. We've believed the mask of perfection, and now here we are again. We have to make diagrams and discussions about it. We won't do this again, will we, Connor? No, you're not going to get me again. There, hell no. Not for unless
Oh
it's
yeah,
yeah. I'm sorry. I keep digressing from your talk here. Please continue. My apologies.
oh no problem. Like, well, this is so exciting because it really is revolutionary. And so, yeah, if we look here at the far right, false advertising of personality traits, let's just go through a few of them real quick.
Okay.
You think you see morals, but really it's double standards. You think you see integrity, but it's hypocrisy. They actually don't have any integrity. They'll say one thing, they'll be oh though so more holy than thou, but they're actually behind the scenes. They're so much worse than you. And instead of confidence, it's actually arrogance. It's not based in reality.
That's
They
something I wish people. I'm going to stop you on that too. For confidence and arrogance are different. Like when you see some politicians actually do have our best interest at heart, and they're very, very confident and very, very rich. It's not always arrogance. It's not always narcissism. It really is not. And to go back to the morals and the double standards, it's like the priest and the kid fucking. It's like, what are you doing? So he's just got this garb and these robes, but behind the scenes they're fucking up people's lives. Very good. Very good. Go ahead.
beautiful. And yeah, I mean, the most basic one, you think you see honesty, but it's straight up dishonesty. It's, it's
Well, because
straight
they're
up.
really good at it. They can lie with they've got the poker face. How many
And that
times?
brings us to our next one. All
Yeah,
of the other stuff here, love, trust, empathy, respect, concern, innocence, it's all fake, feigned, lies, all lies.
yeah. All the stuff they don't have. That's all of it. That's it. In one little nice little suitcase there. They don't have any of that.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. We think we see this good stuff here, but it's all the false advertisement. And I also call this parasitic signals because they send out a signal saying, "Hey, look, I'm trustworthy," but they're a parasite and they're not trustworthy, and it's
Oh,
bad.
like a Venus flytrap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when those bugs get stuck on flowers, or cancer, or all the other stuff. I liken the narcopaths to they're not predators. That's too cool of a name. That's like a wolf or something. They're
Yeah,
more like
parasite.
they're a parasite. They're worms. Yeah, they're worms.
And another thing I just want to point out, because this was kind of really important for me to distinguish, because guys, these ecopaths are far from innocent. They are guilty fuckers,
Mhm.
and they're not pathological liars. Pathological liar is someone who's just going to lie. They can't help themselves in terms of like they don't know what they're saying, but they just spit out something, and they're not aware of why they're lying. But the thing is, that's not what these egopaths are. Egopaths, egopaths are not spontaneous, compulsive, and reactive liars. The lies of an egopath are planned out in advance, and it's rehearsed to ensure maximum believability. And they'll believe any of their lies if it means it'll feed their ego. This is their whole thing. It's all an act. It's all lies. It's all an illusion.
I wonder if any of it's real with the obviously there's a sliding scale. I wonder if any of it is. I'm starting to think that really none. I think at some point in time that some of these traits, the reverse of these traits, they may have had those, but they made a conscious decision to throw them away for the but it's actually column. I think
And
there was a time when they probably did, but they found that it was more convenient, or uh, I don't know.
and that's the
There's some reason.
depravity.
Yeah,
That's the depravity. Even if you had here's the thing, Tyr. If we wore the mask of perfection long enough and we committed to it, we would eventually become just as depraved. That's what it does. This is unavoidable. You become this. If you wear the mask of perfection long enough, you become this.
yeah. Well, some religions even teach that. They teach. They have very sophisticated concepts that what you think you see is actually something else. Well, groups of people, mechanisms. They're not really religion. I wouldn't call it religions, but and these some of these beings are in control of what's happening now. I think that's why we're seeing such widespread problems with this subject, is that they have it's like a fractal or something like the Mandelbrot. It does change, it does morph, but the concept is still there no matter how it changes. It's like trying to nail Jello to the wall with these people. They always have some new way to keep that mask on and
Oh,
to
they're the
continue.
ultimate excusers. Any excuse, they'll
Yes,
have it.
yes, exactly.
Perfect. So let's move on to my favorite slide of all time.
Okay, hang
It's
on.
called Ecopathy Games.
Let me find it. Oh my God, Connor, I'm glad I have you here to explain this to us, because this is a lot of information. Okay, I'm just going to listen on this one. I've interjected a few times here, but this is okay. And go.
Perfect. So yeah, we just covered depravity and the parasitic signals that follow it, where it's fake. It's all fake from them. And all of this stuff that I've talked about with Tyr here, it determines the games they're going to play. These are going to be the rules. So their behavior is going to be limited in this way, and they're only going to play games that are going to feed their ego. So they can still do a lot of things. There's a lot of different ways to play the same game, but um, they only have a certain amount of games that they want to play, and that's really important to know, because that also serves as a red flag. So these games lead to behaviors that signal red flags. And just to make it, for anyone who doesn't know what a red flag is or needs a refresher, a red flag is any behavior that brings into question the motivations behind the behavior. Oh, that seems nice, but that's kind of odd. Why would you do that? So, to put it simply, a red flag is behavior that lacks what should be there, but just isn't. Something's not right. So, like a lack of interest, respect, trust, empathy, or love. Like, oh, you did something, but that, or maybe you did something and it doesn't add up. The behavior reveals lack of character, aka the depravity that they're always trying to hide with their parasitic signals. They're always trying to fake it, but they always have this depravity. So red flags reveal what games are potentially being played. If you start seeing certain red flags over and over, the chances are you're going to be able to figure out what game that they're playing, because certain games have certain red flags. So watch out for red flags. And some red flags are no accident at all and are deal breakers. Deal breakers mean you need to end any and all involvement and keep it that way. They are a bad thing, and you cannot win. There's no winning with them. Being around them is just a loss. It's a total wash and a total loss. Here we'll go to the bottom part here as I'm reading down this. A mind deluding itself away from reality is known as mental gymnastics. So when you delude yourself away from reality, you have to lie to yourself in many times over. And so these mind games are a part of mental gymnastics. A lot of these games help them achieve their mental gymnastics to feed their ego and keep their delusions free of doubt, to keep believing that they're this perfect being. And why make progress when you can make believe?
Nice.
Yeah. And ecopaths are always playing their ego feeding games endlessly. That's a constant with them. Whatever they're doing, they're playing some little game to either show how great they are or like to prove to themselves. They don't want to be helped. They want to be enabled. And that's really important here. They don't want to be cured. They want to be put in charge. Mental gymnastics is more than a game to them. It's their way of life. This is part of who they are. And their only concern, again, is feeding their ego. And that includes protecting their lies and delusions. That's their only real concern. They might say, oh, I'm concerned about this person. No, they're concerned about smearing the person. And they want you to buy into it. And when I say I'm concerned that they're acting crazy, read between the lines. They're saying, hey, this person's crazy. Believe me. Don't believe them.
Mm-hmm.
In the ecopath's predatory, depraved, and parasitic mind, life is only a zero-sum game. And we talked about this a bit earlier, but let's go into detail. A predator and the prey, a winner and a loser. Ecopaths cause loss to another so the ecopath can pretend to be a winner, to have won something. It's all about pretending with them to make themselves feel good. And if they can cause loss to someone, hey, I must have won. They repeatedly play these games, and that means they continue repeated patterns of behavior, and that keeps generating the red flags. It's all connected, guys. So let's move up to the very top here. I have a little note. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Please do not play their games. It will never end well for you. And that, like, look, if you're gonna do the same thing to them, you're not playing by their rules. Their rules is you're supposed to be the loser. So if for whatever reason you try and play their games to maybe scare them off, which can work, which is, I mean, you have to get, that's up to you to determine if you're going to do that or not. That's really up to you. But do not play by their rules. If you will always lose playing by their rules. You can't comply with them. You can't be agreeable with them on this. They've designed all of their games to fuck you. That's their thing. So here's some common competitive one-upmanship games. And these seem very basic and are very elementary. And this, again, they've never grown up. So one of the big ones, you are not good enough. You are nothing. This is devaluation in its purest form. And most, if not all, their games involve this. It's always you're not good enough. Initially, they'll do the love bombing. Oh, you're the best thing ever. And that's actually a different game called CC. CC, you're the best thing ever. Something that either convinces others the ecopath is right, or most importantly, their target is wrong. So, oh, see, you're wrong about them. I'm saying how much I love you. I'm a great person. It's a dog and pony show, the CC. That's what it is. I'm not so bad after all. CC, I'm not so bad after all. I'm acting appropriately while others are watching, especially people that could get me in trouble. If my boss is around, I'll act real nice. But if he's not around, watch out. Coverts become overts behind closed doors.
That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is also when they mirror someone. They mirror someone back to gain their trust and go, see, I'm trustworthy. We have so much in common.
You are not good enough. You're nothing. Let's get married. Okay.
Do
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Just don't even pay any attention to those red flags. Just do it anyway. Because that's what you're supposed to do. CC, Now play my games. Come on. Oh, look, it's next. Now play my games. Come on, do it. Good job.
Oh, jeez. And this is like scary stuff because we don't expect this. We are rational people, and we never get to this point. We never get to this point. When we play games, we're playing games like openly. We admit that we're going to play some games, and we're going to play board games with a family, but we're not trying to do ulterior motive crap behind the scenes. We don't do this kind of crap all the time. We really don't.
Man, when I'm mad. I will let you know. I will have no problem letting you know exactly where I stand. It's not always fun, but I will let you know. There's no games there. They'll never let you know. They'll just fuck you later.
Oh God, it's so true. And this is the thing that we don't quite get but I put it out here so that you can go, oh my God, look how crazy this is. And yeah, another one of their games is nothing you can do about it. This is where they put you in a no-win and lose-lose situation. And this is where they can scapegoat you. Haha, nothing you can do about it. I've scapegoated you. I've smear campaigned you, character assassinated you. And it's also an insurance policy. Oh, you can't leave me. You love me. Nothing you can do about it. So you have to stay with me and take my abuse.
I've actually heard the term "you have to."
Oh.
Yeah, I go, I don't think I want to marry you. You have to.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm like, I do? Okay. That was my mindset. It's been a while ago now. But yeah, okay. That was
Yeah. And yeah, another one that they have is you can't prove it or you can't have what I have. This is that jealousy and envy. So, hey, I've taken all your friends away and your support. I've poisoned them all against you. I've poisoned the well, and I've got a partner to con. Will you remain single and heartbroken? I moved on to the new supply. I'm I'm showing you how great a time I'm having with the new supply. But it's all lies again. And I'm powerful.
He's doing you a favor, bud. That's okay. Let it be. Yeah.
It's a blessing in disguise, that one, I assure you guys.
It's a complete blessing to see. You want that mask of perfection, nothing in between, and a bunch of rage underneath? Fucking have it. It's all yours, bud. If you ever call me for a beer, I'm fine. We will talk about this, but no, I'm not going to help you. You are ungovernable at this point.
Oh wow. Oh, it's like this is what they bring to the table. Like it's like, do you really want this now that you know what it is? It's like, hell no, I don't want this.
Nope. Don't get
And yeah,
involved.
another big thing that they have is with the you can't prove it or you can't have it. It's the people believe me, they don't believe you. Ha ha.
And they do though sometimes because remember if it's just a mask, and if someone only has a cursory knowledge of who you are, or maybe you're a neighbor, or depends on how close they are, they have no reason to not believe it, because who would make this stuff up?
It's true. Our default is to kind of trust someone, to give the benefit of the doubt, and the problem is that is just it's bad. It is bad to do that.
It's easier to fool someone than it is to to prove to them,
convince them they've been fooled. Mark Twain.
Right. Good job. That's it. I can't tell you how many times I rolled up on someone. They give you that sideways look, and you're like, "What the fuck? What did I do? I don't even know you. What is that about?" Now you find out what it was about. Someone's getting supply for poor me, and this guy's such a terrible, oh yeah, I saw that. Guess what? That doesn't happen anymore. Ever. I never see that. Ever.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Go no contact, folks, when you can, as soon as possible. Once now that we're laying this out for you right here, as clear as day, you have no excuse to not move into no contact from these fucking monsters. From the red flags, the mask, you have no reason. You have it. It's all laid out here. This is simple.
Yeah. Connor, oh yeah, guys. If you have any doubts, just do some research.
This is the research. You've done it all for us. If there was any doubt whatsoever, here it is. This is laid out. It couldn't be any clearer. God, I wish I'd had this some time ago. I can't tell you exactly how long ago, because it might let on exactly who I'm talking about, but trust me, before, oh my God, if I'd had this is invaluable. I hope this saves some folks. I think it will. So
yeah, and I still have some games to cover.
Keep going. No, I love it. No, and I'm reading these as we're chatting. Yeah, I've experienced every one of these.
Oh man. So yeah. One of the ones that you pointed out is now playing my games. Come on, do it. Yeah, this is them trying to lure you in. They do baiting, provoking, hurting. It's always trying to get you to play with them or be with them and or have your behavior do something. And it's all just trying to get you to keep you around. And it's bad. It's really bad. And you just have to go. And I really liked your one video where it's take what's yours if you can, and then cut your losses. Because yeah, what they like to do is they like to take your money, and like a friend of mine, he was preyed upon, and she took a lot of his money and held this debt over him, being like, "Oh no, you want me to pay off your debt? You better keep me around." It's like, no, 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 no. You need to let that go. You need to let that go, buddy. Let it go.
It's hard to
And,
let go when they get you tangled up with stuff like that. But trust me, go away, start making plans ASAP, and be very, very stealth about it.
oh yeah, God, don't let them know. Don't let them know. Oh,
Never
for
let the
God, don't let them.
narcissist, psychopath, sociopath, narc hole know what you're doing. If this is making sense to you, get out.
Perfect. And yeah, here's another one. That doesn't count. So that's denial, distortion, the narcissism. The rules don't apply to them. Oh, well, I maybe cheat on you, but that doesn't count.
Mm-mm.
It's and then they also have not it, where it's avoid accountability or you can't catch me. That's it's kind of like tag you're it or not it. It's avoiding accountability. Oh yeah, it's like in a classroom. If it's like who's gonna do this? Not it, not it. Oh, I guess I have to do it. I was the last one. It's this excuse that they have where it's like, oh, I'm not responsible for it. You can't prove it was me, so I didn't cheat on you, even though everything seems to point to it. No, I just took that man into the master bedroom to watch porn at 2:45 a.m. Um,
Good
to
Lord.
watch porn with him in the master bedroom.
Yeah, that was all. We didn't do anything.
It's like, please, guys, please know that, like, no.
Yeah. Okay. On with the next one.
Uh,
So tag you're it.
And yeah, that's the you're to blame, you're the abuser. That's projection. That's the blame shifting. It's not me, it's you. It's shifting accountability. It's your problem, you're the problem. And it goes hand in hand with not it. Oh, I'm not the abuser here. I'm not the narcissist. You are. The one that has a broken heart right now and has gone into debt.
I like when you were talking about that. Oh, we just went to the bedroom just to it's when you. This is for the fellows. When you roll up on a gal that has a whole bunch of men friends and they're all just friends, don't buy it. That is the biggest bunch of bullshit I have ever heard. Those are orbiters in the MGTOW, and I'm not MGTOW by the way, but the MGTOW community calls them orbiters, where she keeps a few of them around and they're just friends. Right, right. Hey, the one underneath that, the some role playing games they don't want you to play from. Those look like the diagrams that we discussed. Was it last time or the time before?
Two times before. Yeah. So
Okay.
basically some role-playing games that we need to avoid because these games, they have some of these games, but they also have role-playing games for you. They have some roles that they want you to play for them. So yeah, I have the role-playing games there that we've covered before on your channel. We had the Circle of Slaves discussion, and we also had the Flying Monkeys sub-role discussion. And those two there are basically all these different little roles that they try and put you in so that they can benefit from it. And so if you learn these roles, you can actually spot people in these roles, and then that can help you avoid toxic people. It's really, really important. And we'll move to the very end here. So in conclusion, the zero-sum win state that they're after, this is more important than anything else, is you lose, therefore I win. Yeah, that's not so much a win for you,
Oh,
just to let you know.
okay, so don't. Okay, so what you meant was don't do that. Okay, gotcha. Don't don't do it. All right. See, I told you I'm a little slow. All right. So
Perfect.
you lose, therefore they win. God, they suck. God, I fucking hate it. Okay, let's get to the next one. I'm gonna close out of this one.
You bet. So the next one we're going to look at is ecopathy deciding factors.
Okay.